Good morning, my name is Mac. If you've not been to my channel before, I am 25 years old, I'm a PhD student, and I am an ultra runner. And I'm currently technically training for a 100 miler. I have a 50 miler in 12 weeks or so. That's very scary as a training race. 'Tis the life of an ultra runner. We're gonna talk a bit about how I adapt my training schedule, the resources that I use to plan and run long runs when I am visiting somewhere that I do not live and run regularly. And lastly, I want to talk about some of the forethought that goes into packing when I'm going on a vacation with runs involved. So, without further ado, how do I adapt my training schedule to my life? First and foremost, if I know that I'm going on a trip on the weekend, I'm gonna run my long run Friday if I can, or Sunday night. Usually my travel when I'm in school is Fridays during the day to Sunday. For example, I went to Aspen this past weekend. I drove there Friday morning, I ran my long run Friday night, and then skied, snowboarded my ass off all weekend, ran when I could, and then came home Sunday. Usually moving it to Friday means I'm a little more tired because my workout run is on Wednesday, but running with tired legs is good ultra training. That's how I try to view it. The next more fun topic is how do I plan my long runs? I have two main resources that I use for planning my long runs. The first is Strava. So I will use Strava's maps feature. Let's say I'm going to Moab in a few weeks. I can set my location in Moab, and Strava can generate runs of the length that you choose. So let's say I need to do 13 miles and I want as hilly as possible because I'm running a 100 miler with 24,000 feet of elevation gain. Strava will try and put together routes for me from that start and end location. And usually you have to get kind of creative with your start and end location. It depends. If you're running straight out the door of your hotel or whatever, then, just plug that address in and it can help you pick a route from the door of your hotel, which is amazing. Or if you have a car, you can just kind of poke around, like using the heat map function, you can really see where the popular trails are that people are walking and running and hiking. So that is like why Strava is so useful for this. It's so useful. So that's how I plan long runs, and then you can save them. The other app that I use is All Trails. This is not a sponsored video, but these are just tools that I really like to use. So I'll open up All Trails. Oh, it's trying to give me reviews. So I can just search, let's say, again, I'm going to Moab, and it'll show you all of the popular trails nearby. All Trails also has some pretty useful search functions. So let's say I want to choose a running trail that is moderate of a length, let's say, I actually like this better than Strava's function, to be honest. 8 to 21 miles, as much elevation gain as possible, and it will filter through the trails that it sees and provide you with different options. It's pretty great using All Trails in the winter even if it's a popular area, because people will put what equipment they use. So people will say, I used snowshoes today, I used spikes today, I needed this, I needed that. Very useful information to gain from All Trails reviews that Strava doesn't have. Lastly, gear considerations. I will bring a running vest, I'll bring my own running fuel, I'll bring my running hydration mix powdered in bags pre-measured out so I can just pour them to bottles. I don't have to bring the entire bag of hydration mix. I will pack usually just one pair of running shoes, and that pair of running shoes I'll use around town, like casually. So example, again, I went to Aspen this weekend and I wore my Hoka Clifton 9s around town, and I also ran in them. Double wear from these items is kind of what we're going for. Another weirdly critical thing that's easy to forget is either have your watch fully charged or bring your watch charger. I prefer to just charge my watch fully before I go, and usually the battery life on my watch is good enough to get me through an entire trip, like 3 to 4 runs. And of course, with packing your clothing, you have to be really mindful, obviously, about the weather that you're gonna run in. So I knew this weekend when I was going to Aspen that there was gonna be a snowstorm, so I packed my wind running tights, I packed a jacket to run in, and I'm glad I had all of those items because it was really cold and I ran my long run in a snowstorm. That is pretty much how I plan my packing, plan my travel around well, not around, with my long runs and my running schedule. I tried to keep this as short as possible. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it kind of informative, at least a peek into my mind and how my mind works when planning my running and my life. If you also have tips about planning your training around your life, definitely drop them in the comments. I have so many more tips for day-to-day life, but I wanted to keep this video very short, very travel specific. If you enjoyed the video, please like it. Of course, helps the channel out. Subscribe to see more running videos. I have been trying to post a video every week. The last couple weeks I had midterms, so my video schedule is a little backed up, but we're getting right back on schedule here with this video. So thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you hopefully next week. I have midterms next week, so hopefully next week.